Hey dudes, how's it going? This is Lady Fantastic. It is early in the morning. I don't usually do like morning posts, but there's a couple of things I want to preface this with. First of all, like my last video, I really got a lot of overwhelmingly positive responses. Certain people contacted me and you know, all of the messages on there, the responses were really like very well thought out, and so that's what I kind of wanted to provide like a space for, is that instead of like yelling or saying, well, f this or f that, like we all have the capability of formulating a well thought out stance. And I think we all have the capability of pointing out pros and cons. Because frankly, I think that we're being dishonest with ourselves if when we evaluate a difficult subject that we can't find issues that lie on, what I guess I'm trying to say is being considerate about these very tough and nuanced issues is what we need to be. We just need to be considerate, and that means it calls for us to maybe think a little more critically and dig a little bit deeper and ask a little bit more of ourselves rather than just reacting. Anyway, enough of that jazz. I actually made a video last night, and then I was like, I don't know, maybe this is just kind of weak, and maybe it's too soon, I'm gonna piss off people. And then it's like, I got a message this morning, and they're like, what happened to your video? And that's a good fucking point. I just want to post shit. I guess I was really kind of concerned because I care about the community. I didn't want to hurt anyone or cause any shit. I thought, well, maybe if I post something this soon, I don't know, I'm going to let that fly out, because it doesn't matter. We live one life. The life that I live is a life that is going to be spent talking about things I'm passionate about, and comics are one of those. And I'm not, and so that is that. Meow, meow, meow. Powers of X sitting in front of you. So I guess, let's talk about a little dumb luck. Life is full of, I don't know if luck's whatever. Dude, it's early. I was only able to get this Powers of X #1 through the kindness of Shortbox Padawan picking it up and getting it for me. I have not seen House of X 1 or 2 in a shop. And trust me, I went looking for the first one. So it's been kind of a bummer, and that's okay. I'll get them. What I was really shocked and excited and surprised by, because it's like, if I can't get them, then I'm going to read the evaluations and everything about it and da-da-da-da-da, you know how I am about my soap operas. So I saw the Moira McTaggart issue, and is it the 7 different lives of Moira McTaggart, or the many lives of Moira McTaggart? Anyways, I'm so pumped that Jonathan Hickman has chosen to integrate her as a more important character, because she has always been a solid ass broad. She's my kind of girl. She's Scottish. She's got kind of ginger hair, auburn hair. You know how that is, man. So do I. And so obviously we're just alike. No, but she's like a scientist, and I work in science, and I always looked up to her. But here's the thing, Moira, when shit went down on a genetic level, basically when Apocalypse or Sinister, because those two were those are the ones that like to fuck around on the evolutionary level. And usually if they started some BS, then Xavier and the X-Men would generally go to Moira, and she would help them, figure out either an elixir or a way to countermand the genetic, crap that their nemesis have, enacted or whatever. I don't know. So, cool. Now, here comes the dumb luck part. I couldn't have possibly known that House of X 2 was gonna be all up in Moira's business, and so like I got this literally like a week or two ago, like maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, like maybe 8 to 10 days before the second House of M, or N, like shit, sorry, that's wrong. Before the second House of X came out, okay? And this is, if you guys don't know, the first appearance of Moira McTaggart, and it could be of Lilandra as well. I just can't remember, and I need to go look up my notes, so like just look it up again. But apparently, as shown on Key Collector app, apparently this book is hot now, and that in the last week or two, like sales have risen online by like 343%. That's ridiculous, and that is dumb luck on my part, because like I paid like $23 for it. So but like it's I don't know, it's crazy. I love it. Meow meow. But since we're kind of on Moira McTaggart, there's a few books that actually really kind of fill in her background quite well. One is, I would say, issues 126, 127, and 128 of X-Men. But basically, it talks about how she and Charles, like, were lovers back in the day. But, you know, for some reason, Moira had to go one way and, you know, Xavier had to go the other. And she had to cut it off with him abruptly so she could marry this Joe McTaggart fella, who apparently they had a baby and then just really had a shitty marriage, and that's that. Well, come to find out, apparently there was, so in this storyline they reference a Mutant X, and this Mutant X is causing some bullshit. It's Proteus, and Proteus is her son. She doesn't want to admit that at first, but eventually she has to disclose that information. And she knows that she has to kill her son, which is heartbreaking for her. And I know she wrestles with that internally and all that jazz. But basically, her kid, Xavier's and Moira's too, their kids are terrible. So yeah, Proteus he just like sucks the life out of whatever host form he can embody, because like his power's like body less, but the more bodies he consumes, the more likely he can like warp reality around him, and you know, all kind of fun little powers and stuff. But he's an asshole. He wants to get Storm, and so the X-Men and Moira try and keep that from happening. And I think eventually he gets taken out, but like he kills his dad. He goes to Joe McTaggart, like takes over his body. And that, like, there's a really weird, like, Oedipus complex kind of scene between Moira and her son. And you can read that if you want to. And it has to do with the gun turning into a snake and so on and so forth. But you can do that yourself. And so let's talk about Xavier's shitty children. Legion, you know. And if you guys seen Legion, you should... the TV show, which I was, you know, relatively impressed with. I didn't think it was that bad. I think they tried to very loosely wrap it around the Mirror Island saga, and like by loose, just like literally barely having anything to do with it, but kind of, sorta, in a way. But it's basically where Shadow King goes and fucks with all the mutants on, like, with the Mirror Island mutants, and like that whole thing is part of the Mirror Island saga. And I think yeah, the Shadow King goes through a body of hosts, and it's just, it has to do with Charles ends up having to fight with like the Shadow King on the astral plane, because it's like this is where that like their powers are equal or something. I don't know, but it gets really crazy. And the astral plane is also in the TV series as well. They have to go and do some battling there. And Legion is part of this, but I think he ends up going, like, catatonic from, like, getting his ass kicked or something. I don't know. But, yeah, here's the Professor and the Shadow King, like, duking it out. And, you know, the Professor gets his ass kicked. But not really. He makes it. So, yeah, that's just, so you've got Moira's kids, and you've got, like, or kid, and then you've got Professor X's kid, and they're just, I don't know, they fucking kind of caught the shit end of that stick, but that's, honestly, I could show you some other stuff, but I don't. Oh, well, I guess I'll show you these. So I have, like, 3 Eternals, and I've been on a Jack Kirby kick, and I don't even have to justify why, because it's Jack Kirby. He's a beautiful creature. He's a beautiful gift that the world was given. So I have Eternal 17, 10. I like that hand, man. This is just a good hand, you know. And 4. These are just the only Eternals that I have, and you know, really, they're kind of, for me, they're rare to come by in the wilds. That's been my experience, but anyways, alright, you dudes, just take it easy. I just wanted to talk about my dumb luck with the Moira thing. You know, it's kind of crazy that all that writing stuff happens with the Hickman, but it's caused this book here to go out the wazoo. But, you know, these things happen. You guys have a good day and be safe and take it easy and keep doing the things you love. Bye.